It is Royal Rumble Eve, and it is time that I give you all my predictions. My predictions for who's going to win the matches. I'll start with Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship. Logan Paul is the champion, and I think this is a pretty obvious one. Well, not obvious, but I think it will be the right decision. I think that Logan Paul has been a great U.S. champion, but he hasn't defended. And see, with Elimination Chamber coming, Logan Paul might defend on that, right? But if you don't know, Seth is going to be out for a little bit. By the way, I looked it over. Seth's knee did not get hurt. It was probably that they just wanted to give him an excuse for some back time because his back is very injured. Well, not very injured, but, it's hurt. So they're probably resting Seth, not going to do anything with him till Mania. Roman is not being advertised for Elimination Chamber. And Gunther, if you didn't know, I just learned this, is having visa problems. So that leaves the only championships are the tag team titles and the U.S. Championship. So I think instead of Logan Paul, you get a fighting U.S. champ as Kevin Owens. And you could do this in a couple of ways. One way is, not Carmel Hayes, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory try to help Paul, but they fail to. That's one way people are speculating, and they fail to help Paul. I think what happens is KO wins. It might not even be clean, but I think the right option is Kevin Owens, as unless Logan Paul can only win on unclean moves. Logan Paul cannot go over Kevin Owens clean. And I think they built up this match perfectly. And I think the great ending to this would be a KO win. A lot of people are saying Logan, but I'm going to go KO. Not a lot of people are saying Logan, but still. I think KO is going to win, become the U.S. champion, become a fighting champion, and have a good run. So that's my prediction for that match. The next match is Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight, versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, this is a tough match because some people say Roman's going to lose the belt. He might not. I think this match will be an awesome match with some RKOs out of nowhere. Some really, really close calls. But I think at the end of the day, you keep Roman champ. You see, there is some speculation as what happens if the Bloodline don't come out and they actually give Roman a clean win for once. Now, I think this would be fine. But I think to further the Bloodline story, which I think Roman should lose the titles at WrestleMania 40. So I think to further the Bloodline story, the Bloodline interfere here and cost these three men, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton, the match. Now, there is a speculation of where they put this, as that could be a big factor on the show. If you put it in the main event, personally, I think after the match, The Rock comes out, right? Have The Rock. I still think The Rock, if it's possible, should face Roman at Elimination Chamber, because what it would do is it would help the international pay-per-views, because Elimination Chamber's in Australia. Then you set up for Cody versus Roman at Mania, because I think Roman's going to beat The Rock. The Rock's too old. Then Cody versus Roman at Mania, where Cody finishes the story. That's what I think. And the way it would happen is Roman retains. And I think The Rock comes out, and it's the match is at the main event. And The Rock comes out to finish off the night and challenge Reigns to Elimination Chamber. There's also speculation that they could kick off the show with it and have the men's Royal Rumble be the main event, because then you could have one of those three other men after losing to Reigns they could enter the Rumble. Now, I think personally this wouldn't happen. I think the Raw coming out and it main eventing is the best. But overall, Roman's winning this match. And I think the Bloodline interference would further the Bloodline story, only if Reigns is going to lose at WrestleMania 40. Hopefully. Next match is the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now I'm going to give you some things for this Royal Rumble. I'm going to give you the Iron Women, and for the next one, the Iron Men. The Iron Man. If you don't know what that is, it is the person who stayed in the Rumble the longest. And I'm going to give you my winners. I think the Iron Woman will be Bayley. Yes, I think Bayley comes in number 1 and stays till final 2. Because I think Bayley has had too long without a good Royal Rumble showing, and I think this is her year. I think Bayley's going to be the Iron Woman and enter at number 1. Now, I think this would be amazing, because there is some arguments for Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca. I think Bianca gets up there. I think Becky gets up there. I think Nia Jax gets eliminated after 30, but not in the final 4. I think all the women come and try to eliminate Nia Jax, and I think that happens. Now, going on to my winners. For this, winners, I think there's one of 2 roads WWE could pick that I would love. One is the if it happens, and 2 is if it doesn't happen. What am I talking about? Sasha Banks' return. If Sasha Banks doesn't return, I think they have Bayley going number 1, or just early, like in the 10, in the ones. So like 1, 2, 3, 1 through 10, Bayley enters. Or they could have Sasha return. Now, I think obviously Bayley would be the choice if Sasha Banks doesn't return. But if Sasha Banks returns, which I hope, I think she's winning it. And I think Banks would be a perfect challenger, because it would just be awesome. Everybody likes Sasha Banks. Well, not everybody. Most people like her, especially with her return. To let you know, I really like Sasha Banks. But there's a lot of rumors of her going to AEW. So I think Sasha Banks would be a good challenger to Rhea or Io. She could be a good challenger to either. I think you might want to put her in the Rhea division, because Rhea hasn't been getting like any good challengers. Then there's also Bayley. I think if Bayley wins, she could face Rhea Ripley, but she's a little on edge with damage control right now. So it would be really cool to build it up for her to face Io at Mania. Now, I think this would be awesome. Except, I don't know, maybe they could do Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley and Io versus Bayley. That would be good. Either one of the world champions would be a great match with Bayley. So, yeah. So my final predictions overall is Bayley wins, but if Sasha Banks returns, Sasha's winning. Okay, next up, the Men's Royal Rumble match. This is probably going to be one of the best Royal Rumble matches if they book it correctly, and like how I had posted the other day. Now, what I think, the Iron Man, after thinking a lot, and if you watch my predictions, you would find out, I think personally the Cody Rhodes. I think the Iron Survivor should be Cody Rhodes, with him entering at number 1, making it pretty far, but not far enough, as he gets eliminated number 3. Now, I think Cody is a perfect Iron Survivor as he can really prove himself to be a big star. So, yeah, that's what I think. And then, obviously, if you saw my video, I also predict MJF to come back. Hopefully, that's a little far fetched. I don't know. Personally, it's a little out there, but I want to see it happen. Now, one of my big predictions is the final 5 are CM Punk, Cody, Gunther, and Solo, and Brock Lesnar. And Gunther eliminates Brock Lesnar to set up a WrestleMania match. That would be awesome. And then Gunther gets eliminated. Then Cody gets eliminated. Then Solo gets eliminated by CM Punk. And Punk wins the Royal Rumble. Now, I predict Punk will win the Royal Rumble. But a lot of people are also saying Gunther. Now, I know this might sound wrong, and a lot of people will disagree with my opinion, but I don't think Gunther's ready. I think they need to build him up a little bit more. And I think by next year, he'll be the contender. That's what I have to say. I think by next year, 2025 Royal Rumble, he will be the number 1 contender. And yeah, he'll be the number 1 contender. And he'll win the Royal Rumble match next year. But I feel like they just had to build him up a little bit more to really get him to that main event caliber star. Otherwise, Cody Rhodes would also be a good option. I do think we should get a new one, as CM Punk has needed for a long time a Royal Rumble win. But it doesn't always happen. But I think Punk deserves and should win the Rumble. And you'll see my entry video that came out yesterday, as that is what I think the men's Rumble should go. Punk wins. He challenges Rollins. I think Punk will challenge Rollins. And yeah, that's it. KO wins versus Paul. Roman retains. Maybe The Rock comes out even. Bayley wins the Rumble. But if Sasha Banks comes back, Sasha Banks wins the Rumble. And CM Punk wins the men's Rumble. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think of these predictions. That's what I think. But hey, I'll see you next time with my review of the show. Let's see how many I got right. Peace.